Okay, heading down the bottom.
And
You're pointing generally the direction we want to go, so I'm just going to back up.
We are currently
come
at a
down,
depth
back up towards you, and
just
then
1,400 meters.
turn to my starboard.
Current oxygen
So
here
I
at
should
this
be coming in
area
on your
is
fisheye cam.
just over 2 milligram per liters. So on
Yeah,
the
if you want
lower
to get auto
side,
heading in.
we are just a little bit deeper than the oxygen minimum zone here for the Hawaiian Islands. And yeah, we already see quite a few boulders, sedimented area here.
Bridge, Nav.
Let's hold here.
Hey, I'd like to let you know vehicles are on bottom, and our current bailout plan to deep water is northeast
so we do have a fish there
045.
in view.
Maybe 3.
Thank you, Bridge.
Yeah.
Nav, can you check our fins?
And so this is, what I was talking about with submarine canyons. They are notorious for having a higher
Coming in, pilot.
Can you check
abundance
our
of
fins,
animals
please?
and fish in particular.
I believe it has aired out.
We'll just have to wait a few minutes until the ROV team is situated before we can start doing any zooms and take any requests.
Probably we get the right arm.
Can note the heavy sedimentary cover that is probably due to the transport of sediment down the canyon, and just to orient yourself, you can get an idea of the direction of sediment travel. We are basically looking down the canyon where sediment would be transported from behind us to in front of us.
And we just passed there a hexactinelic sponge in the genus Bolosoma.
What's the procedure here, pilot?
We got to restart that fins.
Just the whole program?
No.
So yeah, that's that sponge there that
yeah, restart it. It should work better now that it has
very characteristic
TVL.
of these deeper depths here in the Hawaiian Islands and elsewhere.
All right, getting reoriented. I need to come left and push forward.
Seeing your lights on Sirius main camera?
Yep. Slope threw me off a little bit, but now we're good. We also didn't have a heading for a while. There we go. All right, so real quick check here. Serial shows 0.1 from the ship. I show 0.6. Those both agree, even though we lost our heading. So our turns counts are still valid.
How's that?
We're supposed to be heading just upslope.
Affirmative, yeah.
I want to mess with my sonar. I'm getting pretty saturated. Yeah, if you want to come around, Jim, I think we're going to be pointing just due west.
Okay.
To begin with.
So it looks like we have a few animals on that rock there.
If I recall, mine's magnetic and yours is true.
Oh, I'm on magnetic now as well.
Okay.
This still says attitude unvalid.
Yeah, it should have to go through its alignment process. All right, let's adjust C bias. You can do that.
Current depth is 1,405 meters.
Roger that.
Swing arms would still have that too, right?
Yeah, we'll just pull the craft up a little bit. It droops. Can you turn on hydraulics for me?
Yep. Which valve pack?
Neither valve pack. We just need HPU.
Okay, HPU's up to 1600.
All right. All right. Everything looks rock solid there. All right. Hydraulics coming on.
Yeah, Tina just pointed out that there were several shrimp, and on the Sirius overhead image you could see several ones behind the vehicle. On the Deep Discoverer image, you're now looking at a
Is that any better
heavily
video?
sedimented area, but several burrows, probably the action of some worms.
Not really. You can see it in Sirius's view.
Not sure we can.
Brighter than what you can see in the ROV view.
We'll deploy the swing arms a little bit.
I
Okay.
think the swing arms were not stowed in the same configuration.
You want to walk co-pilot through?
Sure. Well, the easiest way to check is to look Mini Zeus up on the uppers.
We put this. I think we put the uppers back, but we'll check.
Put them on.
Again, if you just joined us, we're diving on a canyon that's north of French Frigate Shoals. This is part of the NOAA ship's Okeanos Explorers 3-week expedition to explore deep water habitats in and around the Papahanaumokuakea Marine National Monument.
Lower.
We'll be broadcasting live video footage
all the way
over the internet, as well as at several of our
I see lower
general
swing
public
arm
displays at multiple aquariums,
left.
Should I
including
tuck
the
the craft
Waikiki
in
Aquarium
some?
at the Maui
do you
Ocean
think?
Center in Hawaii.
I don't see any different than normal.
Usually we have it tucked
So
in
as
sideways.
soon as our pilots here get situated, we will start getting some close-up
So
images
lower
of
swing arm.
some of the animals
Okay,
that we've
and then
seen.
you can do
We
the
did
same thing on the
get a
starboard, just make it
glimpse
outboard.
of
So we'll do starboard, lower,
at least 3 fishes
right.
so far.
and I think
Enabling
it'll be
craft.
another
Mike mentioned
valve
that they're
pack.
probably holosaurs or sea lizards.
So it'll be lower and then to the right, just to make sure you have them in the typical configuration.
It's getting more into the view, Bobby.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I think you're clear, co-pilot. I don't think we had it inboard anymore.
Do we want to deploy the swing arms or not?
That's up to pilot. Can.
Yeah, we can
That's a very
deploy.
interesting observation here.
Upper,
Michael
lower, both?
Vecchione mentioned that some of the old ditches in the
We
sediment
can do
are partly filled, and
We,
similar features
do
elsewhere
lower
have been
sometimes, just
interpreted
partially
as
out
feeding marks
to
from
get them
beaked
away
whales.
from the arms.
It's very interested. Yeah, I do not work
All right.
in soft sediment
Nav,
kind of environments.
as he's doing that, I think we're
But
lined up for
the
a move.
northwestern Hawaiian Islands are important habitats
Yes, we're
for
about there.
a variety of
Probably
whales.
pretty
I
good.
think science wanted to look at a few of the
Many
creatures in
species
this
have
area.
been reported.
Roland, you're whispering.
Yeah,
I
we
can't hear
gotta-
anything you're saying.
I'm gonna check in.
Looks
with
like a
Oops,
fish
that was
just right there
way
in the
faster.
center.
him. I'm gonna check in with him, Roland. Watch the nav.
Go ahead, Nav.
Yeah, the front row's pretty well set up here. Before we enter any ship move in, is there anything you want to see in this general vicinity before we move away?
Yeah, let's just take a look at that. I think there's a fish right then center of the screen, and there was a couple boulders to our left that had some animals.
Okay.
Oh,
Shrimp?
Yeah, fin
Yeah.
looks better, Bobby.
yeah, and actually, never mind. That is a shrimp. That's a long-legged shrimp. That's pretty common here. So we have there, it looks like to be a Venus flytrap anemones. A couple of these are in the family Hormathiidae.
Watch lead, anything you want to take a closer look?
So we have there in view a couple of
We should image
Venus
each one
flytrap
for archival sake.
anemones. These are in the family Hormathiidae and in the genus Phylactis.
Video, we're on a time crunch today, so if we've seen it, we're going to skip it.
Yeah, I just had that turn off. Thanks, video.
Watch lead, let me know if you want a closer look. Otherwise, I'm assuming we want to get towards the cliff section of this area.
Yeah, let's move on. These are all common animals.
Yeah, roger that. Nav, I think we're ready.
Copy that.
What is our ship move going to be?
It will be 285.
285. Co-pilot, if you want to make that your heading.
Sirius coming around to 285.
And feel free to adjust your altitude as you deem fit. But let's keep it above
285.
15.
285 magnetic.
How do you feel about 100 meters, 0.2?
Is that right up against the cliff?
That'll get us close. It'll,
Okay.
This is 100.
All right.
Bridge nav.
Pilots, I can give you a better distant view, I believe, if
I'd
the
like to
other
request
swing
a ship
arms
move,
are out.
please.
Right now I can't see much of the distance.
Range 100 meters. Bearing 285 degrees. Speed
So we
0
have
decimal
there
2
a
knots.
crinoid coming into view. It looks like it has 9 arms, and that's something that we saw at these depths on
Good
last
copy, Bridge,
year's
thanks.
dive that we targeted
Do you
these.
want the upper swing arms?
Yeah, if you'd like
video
to.
suggesting it.
We
can
did
bring
not
'em
get
out.
an ID on that
You
crinoid.
can also come down some.
Coming down.
Yeah, that crinoid that we just passed is a feather star. A group of crinoids that are unstalked.
Copy. Thank you, Bridge.
Watch lead, we have some time here. I'm guessing you'll want the fish over the crinoid.
Yes, please.
All right, video.
On your command.
Go ahead, video.
Partial.
Okay, upper swing arms are deployed.
He's not really working with me today.
Pulling out. Partial.
And
If you want to go more partial video, you can.
so yeah, that is a synapobranchid eel. A couple of species that we have imaged
Nah.
in this area
Too far out there.
is the
Full white.
Aphenis, as well as
Some rocks off there.
Brevidorsalis.
Let's go see what those are.
Watch lead now.
Go ahead, Nav.
Hey, we just put a ship move in to get us closer to the base of that wall. So it should be 10 to 15 minutes before we get over there. And then we'll start to see the high relief like we had expected, the bigger slopes. So we're headed that way now.
Copy that, Nav. Yeah, if we can take a look at that anemone there.
You got it. Go ahead, video.
So we have two anemones there side by side, and that is the larger one. Looks like one that's in the gallery as EX1603. These are usually orange or brown in color.
Sorry for the dust video. My left skid is
Well, I'll work with it.
kicking up the very soft sediment.
So yeah, that large anemone that's now in view, that is in the genus EX1603. The smaller individual next to it is unknown to us.
Okay, video's clear.
Okay. Yeah, I've kicked up too much dust. Clearing out.
So NAF has informed us that they did put in a ship move.
Very
but
soft bottom
We'll
today.
have about 10-15 minutes in this area that we'll try to image some stuff before moving over to the wall, the base of the wall of the canyon. So we'll try to image a few animals here in this area. Looks like that eel might be cooperating a bit more this time.
This is a different fish.
There we go.
It's a large fish. Maybe one of
Start
the
going in
lasers.
video.
And that is another Sinapobranchid eel.
Can we do lasers on this guy?
Co-pilot lasers, please.
It's under ROV.
Should be one of the buttons also on your console. I forget which one though.
Just look through the banks.
Bank 1.
It's one of the biggest I think we've seen.
For those of you joining us for the first time, those two laser pointers are 10 centimeters in length, so about 4 inches. So we have an eel there about
All right, time for me to move on.
a meter in length. So yeah, that was a Sinapobranchid eel. The genus Sinapobranchus, possibly Aphanis or Calpleae, the species. Oh, can we take a look at that coral there?
Yes, we can.
Or is it a sponge? That is, looks like a black coral.
Go ahead, video.
Some associate on the very top
Yeah, we're
right.
gonna go for the top.
So this is in the genus Trisopathus, and it looks like Trisopathus tetracrata that we have here in Hawaii. Black corals are the official gemstone of the state of Hawaii, and that is because Hawaii is one of the few places in the world where we actually have an active fishery for black corals. Of course, not up here in the monument where they are protected, but in the main Hawaiian Islands there's a small fisheries for some shallow water species. And then on top of the black coral perching, we have a squat lobster.
Time for me to move on soon.
Okay. Pulling
The
out for
family
a full view.
Chrysostelidae.
Okay, video's clear.
Moving on.
It's a great job, pilot.
Jim, just let me know if you come off of 285 off your heading.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
Are we full wide?
It's pretty close.
You are full wide. Up. Got a Halthorian coming into view.
Got to push out.
on the base of the rock. We just passed another Hormathiid anemone.
Gosh, we are not getting much distance, are we, today? A lot of snow.
What do you mean, not much distance?
Visual distance.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of snow today.
Is it all coming down the canyon?
Yep.
And that's another one of these very large anemones there that we just imaged earlier. And there's...
It still looks kind of nice.
Like a different coral there coming to center.
Yeah, if we can take a look at that, if we have a quick second.
Yep. Give a snap.
So that's a Chrysogorgid, possibly Chrysogorgia geniculata.
It's got streamers coming off.
All right, let's come back out.
And next to the Chrysogorgid are a couple hydroids.
All right. Go ahead, video.
And there's actually several species of hydroids next to this Chrysogorgid. Coming into view right now is a solitary hydroid in the family Tabularidae. And then next to that is a branched colonial hydroid species.
Can you pull out any of the strings? Video?
Yeah, I'm working on it.
And so yeah, Scott was right. We have on there what appear to be the only benthic ctenophores, and those are in the group of the Platyctunidae. And
Go to the crab.
these are very interesting animals. They're flattened ctenophores. You can still see the combs that are characteristic for this group. And these have enormous tentacles.
Okay.
All right. Are you can you get me back in view?
Coming down, trying.
Full white.
If you go really fast on the joystick, they don't respond
Got it.
sometimes.
That's what I was doing. Okay.
Okay, continuing on. Some bigger corals in the back.
Looks like we're rising a little bit.
Yep, starting to hit our slope.
Fan coral down there, possible bubble gum.
Pushing out.
Also, several of our shore-based scientists think they saw some egg cases on that Chrysogorgid coral.
Another purple holothorian. Our geologists would like to see the lines on that rock.
Got a pretty interesting rock formation coming up into view right now. Some nice horizontal lineations that you can see. Those are flow structures remnant of the lava flows before this. Looks like almost a car van size boulder seemed to break off. If you can see the Sirius cam, D2 is sitting right over a piece that looks like it has actually been dislodged from the larger boulder that is on the D2 cam right now. Those are beautiful flow structures.
Can we take a look at that coral on the left of the rock?
Yep.
Copilot, I'd like to zoom on Sirius.
Go ahead. Coming left on Sirius.
Okay, pilots, the ship has just stopped. Sirius probably has another 30 or 40 meters to swim.
Attention EX shoppers. The ship's door will be closing in 10 minutes. Please gather up your final purchases and head to the checkout window. The ship's door will be closing in 10 minutes.
All right, go ahead, video.
Pushing in.
Pilot your aft flat self. See it.
So on top of the coral, we have a anemone again.
Go ahead.
It's another type of Venus flytrap anemone, and they are in the genus Actinoscyphia. They're different from the one that we saw earlier, and in the fact that they have a smooth appearance. Then on the coral, we see a basket star in the part of the group Asteroschemata. And then the coral is puzzling me right now. Maybe one of our shore-based scientists.
Copy that, Bridge.
So Scott mentioned
Can we come wide on Sirius,
that this
please?
is a octocoral in the group
Full wide on Sirius.
Holoxonia.
What's your altitude, co-pilot?
16, 17.
Okay. Mind coming up a little bit for me? 'Cause
I can do that.
I'm a little far off the bottom with this rock.
Pulling out.
And then we also see on them some barnacles. These are scalpellid barnacles. It's those white spots that you see. And then you also see hydroids on this coral. Those are the more delicate fine branching. So we see a small little ecosystem here. We have the coral providing habitat for several
I'll hold right
different
there.
animals,
Yeah, I have turned my
including
heading
the
around quite a
anemone,
bit to the left.
a basket star, which is an
Actually
echinoderm,
progressing to
Video, do
the
you
right
have
of-
it?
Yep. Can we
some
get the
hydroids. There's also an ophiuroid there, so there's a whole ecosystem right here on that single
Alright, so
coral,
we'll just
and
go
that's
full screen. Hold that.
so Scott is from Louisiana State University. From University of Louisiana at Lafayette. Provided an
Video
ID
is
from
clear.
there.
Okay,
So this
come
is a
on.
plexaurid octocoral. So thank you very much, Scott. Scott is one of the leading experts on deep water octocorals.
I'll come around back to 285
Roger.
along with you. Coming up.
So we're
as well.
certainly starting to get into the slope.
Video swapping out.
It looks like we're finally starting to have some in-place lava flows coming up into view right about now. These have more of the tabular structure. This is typical of a certain kind of lava flow morphology called sheet flows. These sheet flows flow much faster than the normal pillow lavas that seem to crawl along at a snail's pace, and the textures on top sometimes will indicate the direction that the sheet flow is traveling.
Is 10 meter delta comfortable?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's about where we're at. And do you want me to follow you around direction-wise or still stay on 185?
Probably better if you stay around 280, because that'll keep me in bounds.
280. Okay, which is where we are.
Or, yeah, exactly.
I don't mean to backseat drive, but 10-meter delta with some pretty big swells.
We
is
have a little time here. Maybe we can image. There's a couple corals there on the right.
You think 10's pushing it?
I think it's a little close.
I don't mind the delta being lower when we're on a slope like this, because I'm going to be way out in front of you. And I naturally should be higher, and the delta should be lower.
So it looks like we have
If I get underneath you, we need to increase that delta.
Sure.
a sea star there in front of us, and then
because
various
that's what I was
corals. Yeah, if we have a little second, hopefully we can image a few of these.
Sure, watch lead. I'm just going to keep moving unless you call out something. So if you want closer looks, just let us know, and we're happy to stop.
There's just a quick snap zoom
All
on
right.
a coral in front of us. Yeah, so that is Metallogorgia melanocristus.
All right, go ahead.
And then
Bring you back.
actually, I take that back. That is a Chrysogorgid, so that is, I believe, what we've been calling
Sorry, video. I'm
Chrysogorgia
all over the place
flavescens.
here.
And then a basket star, Steroschemata. That's good, thank you. And I think there's a couple more animals behind. To our right, there's an unbranched coral.
I'm still staying on 280,
Yep.
but I can come right if you want me to.
Go ahead, video. Let's just snap in on this unstocked.
Very cool view, not just for the biology that we have a close-up of, but also the geology that is in the background. You may notice that there are what seem to be holes in that rock. Those holes are called vesicles, and the vesicles are essentially bubbles that have exhaled gases in them as the lava flowed, and they solidify when the lava cools down, forming these holes in the rock. It's a very common texture in volcanic basalts, or volcanic rocks altogether.
What's that video? Yeah, go ahead.
And this unbranched coral is a bamboo coral, or family Isididae.
Okay, moving on.
Our current depth right here is 1,385 meters. So if you just joined us, we're diving in a canyon about 20 miles north of French Frigate Shoals, up in the northwestern Hawaiian Islands, about 560 miles northwest of Honolulu. Can we take a quick look at that animal to our right?
You got it. Go ahead, video.
So it looks like we have
sorry.
a couple things here. A sponge that's being overgrown.
Do you have any more?
Sorry, video.
So that is something that you typically not see. Is zoanthids overgrowing a sponge. So they are zoanthids are typically known to overgrown a variety of corals, including bamboo corals. But here they've taken hold on the base of the sponge.
Come out partial. And the mic's down.
All right.
So we're not currently doing a ship move, right?
Correct.
Affirmative.
Can you guys hear anyone from shore?
I'm not listening, but
I can't hear anything on OKEX.
So that's another black coral, Chrysopathes, and this time being overgrown by an anemone.
seem hot today.
Agreed.
And both Scott and Tina mentioned that this association between sponges and zoanthids is fairly common in soft sediment areas.
All right, do you want to start getting us moving, Nav? I think we can start to move in a little bit.
Yeah, did you get out ahead a little? I wasn't watching. Yeah, okay, cool.
C-pen, I think.
Went back to feet.
Yeah, that looks like if we take a quick snap zoom maybe.
Yep. Got some time, so let me... Go ahead, video. Nah, too much.
So that's a C-pen, and that's in the genus Anthoptylum.
Bridge, Nav.
What do you want, video?
Hey, I'd like to request a ship move, please.
Okay.
Range 50 meters, bearing 285 degrees, speed 0.2. Thank you, Bridge. Copy. Thank you, Bridge.
So C-pens are in another group of octocorals, so corals that have 8 tentacles or polyps with 8 tentacles. This genus here is fairly common for these depths here in Hawaii. So if you've just joined us, we're currently at a depth of 1,380 meters.
Please pardon the interruption. Your conference contains less than 3 participants at this time. If you would like to continue, press star
Should
1
move
now,
away.
or the conference will be terminated.
We are diving on a canyon
What was
north
the move?
of French Frigate Shoals up in the northwestern
50
Hawaiian Islands,
meters,
part of the
285.
Papahānaumokuākea Marine National Monument. And you're watching a live video feed that's being broadcast in real time from NOAA's ships, Okeanos Explorer, from their remotely operated vehicle, Deep Discover. Can we get a quick snap zoom on that coral there in front of
Sure.
us?
I'm gonna just turn down the wall first. Okay, coming in for the coral.
And that looks from here like a bubblegum or paragorgid coral in the genus Paragorgia, and we'll get a closer look here in a second.
Some of you may have noticed the apparent change in the rock type or scenery that we just went up to. There's a nice overhead view on Sirius. Geologists call this a contact. Contact is the boundary between an older flow and a younger flow on top of it. This becomes obvious just because of the changes in the geometry or shapes or textures on the lava flow's sides and surface. They all don't point in the same direction, indicating 2 different flows of different age.
Stand by. Sorry, I lost my footing.
Looks like this portion of the flow may have fractured as we're looking up the fracture as we are zooming in on these biological specimens. Kind of looking up the fracture where the left and right sides of this lava flow have separated from each other as they were cooling down.
So there have been a few problems with the video feed, and yeah, we are aware of that.
You happy with this watch sleeve?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
So I was wrong there. That is not a bubblegum coral. That's a group of commonly known as the pink or red corals in the family Corallidae.
All right, video. Let's move on.
And recently been some reshuffling in the taxonomy there. Several new genera being created. And This is an important group because there was at one point also a fishery for those corals up here in the northwestern Hawaiian Islands. In the main Hawaiian Islands. Of course, up here in the monument.
Let's just a quick snap on this urchin, because I'm not sure we've seen one yet.
So that is a urchin, and that is in the genus
Stand by and
Sparosoma.
bring it down. Okay. Go ahead.
So yeah, we've last year when we were diving on these depths up in this area, we had one dive in similar depth ranges, and we imaged quite a few of these. These are urchins in the genus Sparosoma, most likely.
Are you full? Are we full out on Sirius?
Yeah. Need to come up a
Yeah,
little.
let's get you coming up. Video, let's come out. I gotta move on. Yep. Let's come up a little faster, co-pilot.
Looks like our ship move is just about complete. Pilots, so we'll still see that Sirius for a bit.
So on the Sirius overhead image, you get a nice appreciation for the terrain and the three-dimensionality of it. Get maybe a quick look at that coral to the right, not the one that's dead center.
To the right.
Yeah, right now in the center.
Right now, okay. Go ahead, video. Sorry for the really light background. Make it difficult for you. Centering it up.
Yeah, it looks like a chrysogorgid coral, and Tina agrees. There's one species that have been referring to as chrysogorgid species planar.
Watch leader. Is that good enough for you?
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Video, are you ready?
Pilot, I guess you knew that your A-flat was acting up?
Well, I reset it once already. So it's 2.
Yeah, that's up to you guys if you think you're ready.
Let me get out a little further ahead. Yeah, it drops out on us regularly. We assume it's because it's the new inner space motor, and we don't have the correct parameters yet. So Jeff has been working on getting the official parameters from inner space.
So again, if you just joined us, we are currently at 1,358, diving on a wall of a submarine canyon north of French frigate Shoals up in the northwestern Hawaiian Islands, about 560 miles northwest of Honolulu, inside what is the Papahanaumokuakea Marine National Monument.
let's get you to, Jim. Let's get you to maintain like a 15 delta. The 10's a little close for our terrain that we're seeing.
This canyon that we are currently diving on has incised its way into the old volcanic flank. At the very top of the canyon, there is a slope break in which we go from a steeper terrain that we're ascending currently into a shallower terrain with less slope. This represents the old paleo shoreline of the volcano that formed French Frigate Shoals about 12 million years ago. Along this boundary would have been where the lava was entering the ocean, such as some of you may have seen as Pu'u adds land to the big island of Hawaii. We are currently observing the volcanic complex and rocks.
Can we take a quick look at that animal in front of us to our lower left?
Yep.
Hold off on that ship move.
All right, go ahead, video. Just trying to get it off the rock for you.
So yeah, the team headed right there. So that is a black coral in the genus Stauropathes. Most likely the species Stauropathes staurocrata.
I'll stable up for you, video. I'm sorry.
And perched on top of this black coral is a squat lobster, most likely in the family Chirostylidae.
You want to go full zoom, or was that just full zoom? Okay. I am pretty far away.
Got a little bit of a current coming up that slope.
Yeah, every time I kick up dust, it comes up in front of me.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't even you.
No, but I noticed it before. Video, let's go in while we're still here. Just snap zoom real quick, center screen. The purple caught my eye.
Yeah.
Would you like to get a closer look, Watchley?